Honestly, I feel like Jasmine's like, I don't know why, but she feels like a fool to me. Like, she just like, the way our conversations are, I feel like she's always coming at me. And so I just like, I'm going to call you out on stage. I don't care.
All right, Frequency and friends, we are back with another podcast, season 4. We're having fun. We had Prophecy drop, and it was phenomenal. Everybody loved it. We had a good time. We're back with another fantastic guest, multi-talented actress. Very requested.
Really?
Actress, activist, YouTube influencer, a high-key comedian, in my opinion, and fellow Bramptonian, my sister by last name, also beautiful, awesome. Everybody welcome KayRay, a.k.a. KayRay.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
that's such a nice intro.
Thank you. I didn't practice it, so I'm sorry if I messed it up. But to the left of me, of course, I got Jay Static. We got Jyoti Dillon to the left of him. We got DJ KSR. I'm used to saying DJ M to the right of me. We got KSR over here filling that position. We got rid of DJ M. He kept winning in Punjabi Shazam. We couldn't handle it anymore, so we got rid of him. Welcome, KayRay. How are you feeling?
I'm good.
feeling
Thanks
good?
for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming. I'm sorry you saw behind the scenes. We're the most unprofessional professional podcast. It took forever to set up. I think
There's
I
a lot
say
of wires.
I say it every single time. I'm
100%.
like, oh my god, okay, we took really long, but it really does take a long time to set all this up.
Yeah, they need to know this. So
I hope so. I hope they appreciate it. They're probably
Yeah.
like, what? There's just a camera on, and you just turn a light on.
It takes a long time. You know?
So you were in the studio earlier working with JJ. Are we gonna hear a song from you?
Oh, yes. I'm dropping a mixtape actually tomorrow.
Yeah.
Mixtape. No, it's a brand new Gidda song. That's what it is.
Get that song.
Awesome.
Actually, we did do that back in the day. We did make some
with
boliente.
the
Yeah.
Jyot.
Yeah. And there's, like,
Damn.
it sounds like
Stuff
cats.
that you perform to?
I remember
meow.
that. Well, that's what it is. That's natural then.
literally what
As
it
long as it
sounds
sounds like cats, you're good.
Oh, you guys actually recorded your own gidda?
Like it was like back in the day.
I
Yeah.
don't know why we were doing it.
We were doing with like Nachbalia stuff. I had like
It
the
was a
chance with
performance.
the
Okay,
yeah. And then we
That's
got this
dope.
guy always producing something. He's the guy.
I feel like with you, KayRay, you have so many friends in the industry. Like everybody knows KayRay. You guys have your own like certain relationship, like with JJ probably with the music and the performances and all that. Jyoti, I think back in university.
We went to school
we went to
together,
school
actually.
together.
Right? KSR is
funny
probably from
story.
like everywhere,
Yeah,
from NAX
every-
to
every
yeah. I
freaking
think
place.
you
She
hosted
hosted
NAX.
NAX
Yeah. Absolutely. Us, we've met a couple times, and then
You know my family.
But
though.
yes, your family exactly. Yes, they're my family as
Yeah.
well. So it's a tight knit circle here for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta thank the guys behind the camera because I always forget it. We got the man Cam Lucid with us today. We got Shot by Dolo. We got Kevin, and then we had Villa and B Magic here, but they stepped out for a second,
Yeah.
refill their drinks. They'll be back shortly. So, KayRay, I want to start with you. We'd like to take it back on the show right to the beginning. You've been in the game for over a decade now. You've done so many different things. Normally, we have an artist that comes on that's a singer or a rapper or whatever, and they got their story of success, but you have gone through so many different doors, from videography to your own show, Chada Cup, that is huge success. Congratulations on
Oh,
that.
thank you.
It's been fantastic. Your actress in Anarkali, which is a fantastic show as well. So let's take it right back to the beginning. You're a fellow Bramptonian, like I said. You grew up in Brampton. Tell us about growing up in Brampton and like how you gained all this confidence to get to where you are today.
Honestly, Brampton's a great city. As much as people want to hate on it, you know, I don't want to see you six buzz. What the hell? But, Brampton, like, look how many people are coming out of Brampton and doing such great stuff. You know,
Oh, yeah.
like you can't hate on that.
No, absolutely.
So,
I'm Mississauga.
I'm Mississauga. Like,
It's okay.
You're at like the bougie Brampton. That's the thing.
Oh yeah.
And a Mississauga is Brampton.
Yeah,
They just
it is.
call it by a different name.
I
yeah?
know, exactly. But yeah, I think honestly, when I was younger, I wanted to do all this stuff. I wanted to be an actor, but I just, of course, like everyone's story, didn't see anyone that looked like me. But it was also like, because like I was around so many Punjabis, they didn't see that for themselves either. So like, even when I would talk to my friends about it, they were just like, okay, but what would you do practically, you know? And
Like, what's your real job?
It's not even my family that's saying, it's my friends, you know?
So what are you going to school for?
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. So when I was like in high school and stuff, I had like this secret love for like drama and everything, but like I couldn't try out for the plays because my friends thought it wasn't cool. So like
man.
I just like always held back from that. But I think you know, I took a semester off. I always suggest to the youngins, you know, take that gap year. And I went to school where I met Jyoti actually, and I
Yes.
did media productions, and it started from there. I'm like, if I want to like pursue this, I need to make my own opportunities. So
Yeah.
I just started like making my own videos, like learning all the behind the scenes.
And I remember
went
back
from there.
then, like from when we were both talking, I
Yeah.
kind of didn't know what I was doing either.
Yeah, he was a
But,
graphic
like,
designer.
Yeah,
at the
right.
time.
And you were like, I'm just going to school and learning stuff, but I don't have any idea what I'm gonna do. With it.
yeah.
But it all works
it all
out
worked
some
out,
way.
yeah.
Well, I mean, it wasn't like you just kind of figured it out and it all worked out, but you put a lot of grind. Like, I mean, I was talking to another good friend of yours, Fateh. He spoke so highly of you just
Oh,
earlier
thank you.
today,
Oh.
and he was like, you know, he kind of, I don't want to mistake his words, but he's like, I don't really know what to say about her. She's so multi-talented, and she's put the grind in from the beginning. She's put in the work for behind videos, production, that whole, like, you've learned it all, and then
Yeah.
you kind of put yourself in front of the camera,
Yeah.
which
He
is a
even-
cool attribute to
He even
have.
talked
yeah?
about the music video that you guys shot at Seneca.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Talk about that
yeah,
on the
yeah, yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
so
he told a phenomenal story. We'll get into that as well a little bit later for sure. But I want to know more about your upbringing because you come from a male-dominated household.
Yes, I do.
So when you tell them that you listen, I'm not going to school. I'm gonna be in. Is it? I keep saying actress. Is it proper to say actor or just actress, or does it matter?
It doesn't matter.
I don't want to
say
offend the
no,
whole
no,
film
man, no,
society.
don't.
You know, I don't need all that noise coming after me.
No,
yeah?
no. I say actor only because, like, I don't know. In school, we just learned to say actor instead
Okay.
of actress. Yeah.
Yeah.
You could say actress. What the hell?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gender neutral over
Yeah,
here. So,
gender neutral,
Yeah.
you know.
All right. And so, like, what was that when you go home and you say, "Mom, Dad, like, I'm not going to school for what you want me to go to school for"?
Well, okay. See, the thing is, my dad. Both my parents actually grew up here, which is not like everyone else's.
Malton-
stories.
Malton
yeah,
raised,
Malton
right?
days,
Yeah, yeah.
Lincoln. Well,
I-
it's Westwood back then.
I
but
heard
yeah.
your parents were high school sweethearts.
Yeah.
That's
They
yeah,
went
yeah,
to-
can we make some noise for that, man?
That's
High school
awesome.
sweethearts. How many of those do you
Oh,
guys
your
know?
parents went to Westwood?
Yeah, they went to Westwood.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Her pops is an OG, man. Yeah, he's the man.
That's
He's cool,
yeah.
man.
crazy.
Yeah, he's on TikTok before me. It's crazy.
Okay, I can't picture him on TikTok. He doesn't make videos.
No, he's like working out.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay, okay.
That's
those types of videos.
crazy.
Yeah.
He has some like crazy effects on it. He's like
No
freaking
way.
bubble
That's
bomb. Like,
awesome.
it's wild. Yeah.
That's
Anyways,
dope.
yeah, my parents are cool, but I think still though, like obviously, like my dad, for example, and my dad's side of the family are very traditional. So for me, I think it was just like always trying to. I don't want to say rebel, but yeah, like I've always kind of just been like, if my brothers can do whatever they want, then I should be able to do whatever I want. And I've always like been that little fighter since I was a kid. And I think just because, even though I was really, really painfully shy, I, for some reason, would always just be like, if my brothers are allowed to do it, then I should be able to. And I've been trying to fight that double standard forever. So
Yeah.
I think that's what it was. It was just like no question. Like I'm not gonna ask for permission. I'll ask for forgiveness and like see what goes from there.
See how it works out at the end, right?
Even
That's
with
awesome.
YouTube, I just like didn't tell anyone I was gonna do it. I was like, hey parents, are you okay with me being on the internet? Like
Yeah.
I just did it, and they're like, what's going on? I'm just gonna continue. Yeah, I just keep
Do
doing
you
it.
remember the first interaction where you were out with your parents and somebody noticed you, like, and someone fanned out?
Oh, actually, with my dad, so he saw the Punjabi Mime Through Time video, And like at that point, I have been releasing stuff, but like I don't know why I got shook when he like saw that video because he like I came into the car and he's like, so I saw your video. I'm like, what video? Like I don't know what video you're talking about. You know, that's not a good thing to hear from your parents.
No.
It's like he's like, I saw it on the internet. It's on the internet. I'm like, why you gotta say it like that? You know, they always make this internet sound like this like dark place, you know. And then he's like, yeah, my friend saw your video, and I'm like, where? And he's like, on Facebook. It's a good job, bud. I'm like,
Oh, that's
okay.
dope.
That's
It was
awesome.
What-
but only because his friends saw it and they thought it was cool.
Yeah.
And
That's
then my
hilarious.
dad thought it
Was that the
cool.
car karaoke one?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, with
yeah,
Fateh and
Yeah.
you had Gurkaren in
Gurkaren,
there.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
they probably came and praised it, and then he
Yeah.
was like, "All right."
Yeah, then it was like cool to have
That video
yeah.
blew up. What was the thought process behind that? What were you guys thinking when you created that whole concept?
So there was a video before called by Sketchy, and they're like these Australian girls that were like doing carpool karaoke stuff. And then Rocky Mutta, who's also like a creative genius as well. So she hit me up, and we were already working on like Anarchly stuff. But Anarchly hadn't been released
Yeah, I
yet.
was gonna say that was so long
Yeah,
ago. So,
so
it's
it
been
hadn't.
in the works.
Yeah, it
long
was in the
time.
works. And what happened was she was like, "Hey, like, yo, do you want to do this video? I always am down to do whatever." So I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I just like got all the girls together, just like put in like all this work to watch all those music videos and like take implements of like each thing and
Yeah.
just kind of implement it into the video. And it
I-
was we shot it over 2 days.
It's
It
such
was-
a
damn.
it's
Yeah.
it's amazing that you're saying that because me even thinking after doing all this work and knowing what it takes to do this
Yeah.
when you're shooting that video I'm not thinking about the process behind it either of
Yeah.
what you guys had to do to prep for that and I can
Yeah.
imagine now when I think back to it you guys had actions
Yeah.
for every song when they're
Yeah.
switching songs and
was
like
crazy.
the
Yeah.
outfits and the whole
If
thing
you
like
watch the
And it was
videos,
choreographed.
that prep is crazy yeah that's a lot of work
I
that
had
went
to
into
watch
that.
videos like to those old school songs that you always hear at like weddings and stuff, and you like bump into, and then
Yeah.
you actually watch the videos, and you're like, these are the worst videos known to mankind. It ruined the song for me. But yeah, we had to recreate all that.
All the
It was great.
outfits,
all the
that was
outfits.
awesome.
Yeah, it was
This
great.
this only came on Facebook, right? Or was it on?
it was
there
on YouTube as well. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But Facebook did really well.
That's
like,
where I remember seeing it
yeah, it's like something like I don't know, like crazy million views or something, like 20 million views or something.
What happened to Facebook? It's not as big as it used to be. Huh?
Yeah.
People just phase off of
It
the fact
is.
that-
I think it's just a different.
I think it's come back.
Yeah?
Properly
Yeah.
coming back.
Yeah.
I definitely think so too. Even in, like I feel like internationally, like it's
And that's
bigger.
the other thing.
Yeah.
Internationally, it's the main thing.
Yeah.
there's nothing else that connects people other than WhatsApp. I
And
guess,
older
directly, right?
generation
That's
as
true.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like my grandma from England's
Yeah.
on Facebook always messaging
That's
me.
right.
I love it, but I mean, it's a
Yeah.
good
And like
way
if
to-
there's someone that I don't have their phone number or address, you know you can find them on
on
Facebook.
Facebook,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah.
I gotta get rid of my Facebook.
Yeah.
Actually, so like I've been trying to like all your pictures that are tagged and all that. Like
Yeah.
it's so hard to go in, and it's not just one privacy setting.
No,
You gotta go
you gotta
through each
so-
picture. It's you
Facebook
gotta go
is
through so much
confusing.
Wow.
to like get rid of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I probably shouldn't bring that story up, but anyways. What I wanted to ask you is, so your parents were high school sweethearts. They
Yeah.
got married at the age of 21.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
crazy.
Do you
Not everyone knows that.
and I gotta congratulate you. You just made it to your 30s, so congratulations.
Yeah.
Let's make some
Hey,
noise
Happy
for that.
belated birthday.
Welcome, welcome. It's the end. We're walking into the end. Yes, so we're getting there. But do you
It's
remember
morbid now.
9 years ago where you were? And do you think like
Yes.
you could have been in the same situation your mom was
No.
to settle down at that age?
Oh
And,
my god, no.
right?
I
Like,
can't. I'm so like I look at my mom like, oh, like how did you do that?
right?
Yeah.
How did you have 3 kids by the time you were my age?
Yeah,
like I don't
yeah.
understand. And working a
And
full
working,
time.
yeah. On top of that,
And like having in-laws,
Yeah.
it's too much. And I feel like I grew up with my grandparents, so I saw the in-laws, like
yeah.
you know how.
Well, I
like-
know your grandparents.
You
We used to
know?
hang out with your papa in the basement. Yeah. So like I know. That's
He's-
crazy.
He's
Yeah, he's
like
a
that.
serious guy, yeah.
he's a serious guy. Oh my
Oh,
god, not
man.
many people know my family, so it's so crazy. that
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
serious.
I never even met her there. So you were probably like, I guess, like 11 or 12 back then when
Yeah.
we were like 14, 15.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You went to North Park as well?
No, I
Oh,
went
no.
to HB.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
That's when it opened then. Yeah,
yeah.
so that's super dope. No, your brother, got to give him a shout out. Andy, he's a really close friend of mine, good friend of mine. We were all in Mexico together
Yeah.
just about a
Yeah,
month
yeah,
ago
yeah,
as
yeah.
well.
A wild guy.
Yeah, yeah. Dolo
Definitely
knows.
wild guy.
Dolo knows Andy, right? He's a super dope guy. So yeah, I mean, it's just amazing to me that high school sweethearts could come up here, get married at that tender age of 21,
yes.
and then Do you feel like them being young parents had an influence on you guys culturally? Like, did they? You said they're traditional, but did they bring that Canadian value to you guys as well? Growing up here.
I think just as in even like our conversations, like dialogue, they speak English like how we do, right? So like, it's not like, oh, that if you have an accent, it's different, but it's just like even they just understand the lingo.
Yeah.
So like that kind of stuff is like interesting because like my mom is friends with my friends more than I am sometimes. So those types of things I feel like were easier. Like I felt like my mom was also like my sister because I don't have one. So like I had to like she's always had my back. Like even if I wanted to go into the industry, like my dad was not down initially, obviously. I had to really ease him into it, and like he's completely transformed from when I was 21 to now. Like he's a totally different person, but that took a lot of work to get him there, and I think it was all me. Like it doesn't not my brothers.
And that all that credit goes to you. Like
I'm not gonna do. I'm not. Yeah,
a lot of people go 100%. A lot of people go through the same thing. Like I have a cousin too, and she talks about similar things as far as like her brother would get to do certain things, and she doesn't. Like all these same topics come up.
Yeah.
But I strongly feel that it's also up to us to communicate with our parents and get them on board with the way our generation is too, right? And that's what you did. You kind of forced them into it, and slowly they started understanding you.
Yeah, like even with R.I.P. But with Kobe, like everyone was talking about the girl dad thing, and like I was just like, yeah, I feel like I really had to transform my dad to becoming this girl dad because he was just not understanding what that relationship, and so many like young women have that relationship with their fathers in the Punjabi community. So
it is.
I know you have a daughter, so
So shout out to her.
Yeah.
No, absolutely, and it's. I have a sister as well. I have actually the exact same situation as you, two brothers and a sister.
Yeah.
And I know, I mean, I could say it. What my sister went through, it was totally different for us. We did what we wanted. We went out when we wanted.
Yeah.
She was locked down. You know, she couldn't cut her hair for the longest time.
Same.
You know, like she went to law school. We didn't really even go to school. Like
Yeah.
so, it's you know what I mean? Like it's a totally different. And it's not really fair, but I get culturally where it comes from.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
and kudos to you guys for pushing through and kind of doing what you want to do. Like my sister went to school in England, and she had to fight for that. Kind of be like, I want to go to school away, and she went and she,
to her.
you know what I
seen
mean?
her in years.
Yeah. So like, and you the same thing. Like for you to take a break after high school, like I bet you didn't. There wasn't one day where you didn't hear it. Like, oh, what are you gonna do now? Have you found a job? Have you picked a career? You know. So to push through and have that career, like guys like JJ did have it easier. He's the youngest of two brothers or three brothers total, and you know his parents supported his dream, and he got to go to New York and do all that. You know, same with Fateh, but like. There's not a lot of people like me and you that really had that support. Even Matt, now when I go, I'm a podcast guy, like, what the fuck is that? You know, are you getting paid? You know, like,
get a podcast.
Still to this day, my dad's always asking, so are you getting paid though? Are you getting paid though? But Dad, I get it.
It was a big shout out when we had Kamal here. He's like, oh, you're doing Kamal here? Okay, I know that name. Kind of thing, you know?
It's always, if it's someone like that, a caliber, then it's like
and then they're like,
super proud. Yeah. When I was like doing stuff with like Brit Asia and BBC.
Congratulations on that. You
that was
just hosted
awesome.
Brit Asia.
Yeah,
How was that experience?
It was so cool. You guys,
Nervous?
like,
Were you nervous?
I thought it was gonna be. I actually felt very comfortable on stage, which
Really?
I did not ever think I would.
Live
be.
crowd, everybody's looking at you.
You know what's
That's
crazy?
cool.
I feel like I really I believe in the law of attraction, and I really feel like I manifested that because like I've always said I want to be on like a stadium or whatever, you know. I'm like, how the hell am I gonna do that? Like, I don't sing, I don't rap, I don't do anything. And then I'm like, oh shit, hosting.
Yeah.
And Wembley Arena is like a huge
That's
arena.
huge.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Like Beyonce's been on there, you know. So.
That's dope.
so
Yeah,
cool.
Beyonce is a big inspiration to
Yeah.
you as well, right?
Every woman alive.
I've heard you say that you always put yourself in uncomfortable situations, and that's what's helped you grow your confidence throughout life. Do you remember some of those uncomfortable situations?
Yeah. So, for example, being super shy, I really wanted to go into acting and whatnot, and I just didn't know anyone that was doing it. So, like, when I would Google like other actors that made it, like Hollywood actors, they would always be like, they just got discovered in a mall, and like they started modeling, and I was just like all this stuff. I'm like, oh, do I start modeling now?
I don't know. Bramley City Center is
should
the
go to
place
the mall.
I would go to the mall and I would sign up in these weird like auditions and stuff. I was doing weird shit, and I showed up at weird photo shoots. This is really sketchy for the first couple years, and I think that's really what made me like I had to feel comfortable in front of the camera. I wasn't comfortable without like. I just, again, like, if you don't see people that look like you, so then I just didn't even feel comfortable being in front of the camera because I'm like, oh, like, that doesn't look right. Or, I just didn't love myself in that way when I was younger. And I felt like modeling, as weird as it sounds, really helped that. And I think is why so many young people are on Instagram now, and like doing their selfies and whatnot.
Gives
whatever.
you that confidence.
Yeah, it gives you that confidence, and it really helped boost that for me.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
It makes sense, when people put themselves out there and you because nobody analyzes yourself more than yourself.
Yeah,
When you put a
I'm
pic
the
up,
worst.
you're always the one picking out, oh, my face looks like this or this happened or whatever.
Oh my God,
and it
you
takes a
should
lot
hear-
to get comfortable with
You should
your
hear
own
me when
self.
I'm editing. I'm like, oh, I'm such a.
Just cut my face out.
I'm so rude about the whole thing. Yeah.
How was that process with your show, Jada Cup? I want to know about that. Well, how did you come up with the idea? And who is this fucking lady who decided
Yeah.
to steal
Satinder
the
Sati?
name of your show? What's her name? Suti Sati?
By the way, I saw that thing you posted. That is hilarious. I love that.
What's going
What-
on with
what
this? Let's hear about
Let's
this.
get the whole
She just-
story.
All right, yeah, let's go through the whole story.
Let's start
Okay.
about how you originated the show.
Yeah.
Then we'll get to Suti Sati, whatever her name is. Yeah.
Ati Sati.
Everyone
Oh,
just
well,
says
before you do this, and we want to congratulate you on your show, Jyoti, can we pop a bottle of champagne to celebrate?
Oh, wow.
We're in season 4. We're going to celebrate every
Yes,
single episode this
everything.
season.
This is
I
exciting.
like that idea.
Yeah,
Yes.
congratulations to you guys.
Thank you,
You guys
thank
are
you.
killing it.
Congratulations to you too. You're at like 40 something episodes. You were saying?
Yeah.
Oh, shit, you're way-
You're at 40 something episodes?
Yeah.
That's really
Yeah.
impressive. Yeah, make some noise for
We're
that, man.
catching
Come
up.
on, guys.
Thanks.
That's a lot of work.
We got to beat
yeah.
you this year. That's the goal.
So, yeah, go,
I set you up for that one.
go on. Tell us about the story. We want to know about Jada Cup. Did it start from the jaw? Did it start from the cup?
It started.
What comes
from the-
first, the chicken or the egg?
The jaw starts
yeah.
first, actually, because then you have to pour it in the cup, but I think it was just like, honestly, I'm addicted to jaw. So I just like I would have the dopest conversations with my friend.
Hey.
That's definitely not jaw the cup. But I think for me, like I just like had such great conversations with my friends over a cup of jaw, and I just wanted to share that with other people. I feel like I don't know when I started. When I started YouTube, I felt
He's
like
a DJ, not a bartender.
Yeah, when I started YouTube, I was really like, I'm a serious actor. I went to school for this, and I didn't even realize there was a funny side to me. Like I knew I was entertaining, but I just didn't.
No, you could
delve
do it
into
on
the
camera.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't know I could do like comedic stuff.
Yeah.
So when I started moving into that, I felt like I got more confident, and then like Jaw the Cup kind of came out of that because people were like, "Well, we like your personality."
You
Yeah.
start learning how to be yourself, I guess, over time.
exactly. And I think that kind of helped. Ooh, thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so should we just do
Yeah,
cheers
let's go.
right now?
Cheers.
Let's go.
Come on.
Cheers.
Yeah. Oh, these guys are
Oh,
on
you
like
guys-
sober
okay.
February or whatever they want to call
Sober
it.
fucking 2020.
You too?
Well, not really, but for a bit.
I mean, like, how about this? Udai bonde amangu pila.
I gotta do work after. That's what it is.
So yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, it's kind of the same concept that ours started from, except we were with liquor and we started drinking and we're like, you
Yeah.
know what, we're having some good conversation. Why don't we record it?
Yeah.
And it turns into something. So did you decide to format your show with one-on-ones and then you started adding people to it
Yeah.
and production? Like, how did that all work
Well,
out?
so I first started as a Q&A thing with my audience. So that's how it was just like, what do you guys want to know? Let me have a conversation with you.
And you did this where?
This was
On which platform?
on YouTube.
Oh, okay,
But
cool.
it was like literally on like my friend's sofa, like bootleg camera. Like it
It
was,
was
just
still
so,
called Chada Cup?
It was called
Yeah,
Jaw the
right?
Cup, yeah. And like we it just looked so
I'm
grimy.
upset you didn't come in with merch today as
I
well.
know.
I seen those
Yeah.
sweaters.
Okay,
I was like,
you
oh.
guys, I'll
Yeah.
give them to you. Don't worry. Thank you for having me on a podcast. I'll do that for
No,
you guys.
you gotta have 5 Chada Cup with us.
Yeah, that's it. I'll have your faces on it too. Yeah, but we, damn, what was I saying?
You
Started from show.
bootleg camera on
Oh yeah, so then
YouTube.
when we started from that, then I started was like, why don't I have like people on it, and then like our audiences can ask them questions too. And that was when I was still not confident asking questions. Like I was just like, let the audience ask questions, and they keep asking the same. Like, well, I don't know why I was doing that, but I think I started gaining confidence after Jig Meets. I think it was after Jig Meets episode. I felt like, you know what, I'm ready for this, and like I know how to do this now. It's not like I don't know what I'm asking, and I have good conversations. So I just wanted to kind of share that with my audience who they don't get to hear those types of conversations, or they don't have those types of people around them to uplift them in that way. So I really wanted to just share it with them.
You have a huge network too.
Yeah.
With everything you've done.
Yeah, and they add such value, right?
Yeah.
So like
And
there's
the comfort that they have sitting with you and talking is different than like an interviewer interviewing them,
yeah,
right?
exactly. And I think because I've been, well, even right now I'm being interviewed, but like I've been on the other side of being interviewed, and I know what questions like do work and don't work. So then I was just like, you know, I just learned from that and just started implementing it into child.
But they're always different too. Like
Yeah.
the interviews that we do, or whatever you want to call this,
Yeah.
and same stuff that you do, they're not real interviews.
Yeah.
It's just
Conversations were
Yeah.
straight
it's
conversation.
conversation.
Things that you
Exactly.
actually want to know is what you ask, and you know
Yeah.
90% of the people probably want to know the same things.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's really cool.
You know what I really liked and enjoyed was when you guys did it live for, what was that Vancouver show?
Oh,
Oh, yeah,
5X.
5X,
yeah.
yes. That was really cool. And you
Oh,
had all the
yeah.
ladies on stage,
Yeah.
Jasmine, yourself. There was quite a few, the DJ from...
DJ
Montreal,
Reka.
DJ Reka, yeah.
Yeah, it was dope.
you called out Jasmine on... that was pretty funny.
Yo, honestly, I feel like Jasmine's like, I don't know why, but she feels like a fool to me. Like, she just like, the way our conversations are, I feel like she's always coming at me. And so I just like, I'm going to call you out on stage. I don't care.
No, that was
So
dope.
good,
It was
yeah.
cool to see that, you know, that you guys are together.
Yeah.
How was it different doing it live versus doing it when you can record and edit?
I did love doing it live, and we're planning on doing a Jada Cup tour.
Oh,
this year.
super
Oh,
nice.
damn.
Yeah, it's
We just
exciting.
did you just basically announce that
yeah,
on here?
I did, man.
All right,
yeah,
all right.
All right.
We got the first on that.
Guys,
Yeah,
should we announce a Frequency and Friends tour?
We
too?
might I think
Alongside.
Copy the idea, right?
we might just open for her. Yeah, with the opening
No,
act.
no. How are we gonna open and be licked? We can't open it. We gotta be the post show.
Yeah, the post show, the after show.
Everyone's
You
gonna
talk about
leave.
the conversation.
Yeah.
Like,
After party.
hey, sharap to ba? Chopping?
Let them turn off all the studio lights. All right, we'll start now. No, that's dope. Congratulations on that. That's gonna be really
yeah,
cool.
It's cool.
And we got our friends back,
We got our
Villa and
friend-
BB Magic.
Hey.
Cups are full, of course.
Or do they need a refill? Do they?
There it is. Yeah, I'm having mic troubles.
no, it's
Is that okay?
That's
All
better.
right.
It's better,
Yeah. So then.
I love doing audience like related stuff. Like I don't know, I feel like it's different when you're releasing stuff online because there's like, yeah, you get the instant gratification, but there's something about seeing people in person and then
Like-
them telling your like. I have the opportunity to hear such amazing stories from people, and they really feel, I don't know, I guess safe to tell me like what's going on in their life. And it's really cool to have that connection with the audience. So I really do love doing like live things.
Have you ever had people on who are nervous and they're like, "Oh man, it's gonna be another interview," and by the time you start interviewing them, they're like, "Oh, this is pretty cool," and then they open
Yeah.
up completely?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
It's
happens a
so
lot to
cool.
us.
Yeah, they love
lot.
it. Yeah, they like at the end of it, they're like, "Oh, this is like the best interview I ever had.
Yeah.
Like, when are you gonna have me back?" I'm like, I was like, "All right, yeah, I'm down. Whatever." It's cool.
I heard you say that Jagmeet Singh was the interview that really opened things up for you and confidence-wise. You've been a big activist for him and
Yeah.
helped with this whole electoral run. And congrats to him. You know, he's
Yes.
done such a fantastic job.
Congrats
It's
to
our
him.
honorable MP.
Yes.
It's not official, but he is an MP, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
he's a federal leader of NDP as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
I said our MP, but like.
He's
No,
not
that
our
was-
MP.
yeah,
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 yeah.
He's-
Sorry, I'm
But,
not
he's
politi- I'm-
all of our MPs.
Yes,
Who
yes,
cares?
yes,
We don't
super
even know
dope.
what-
Yeah. Hata MP.
That's what it was.
How was that
Let's
for
do the
you
Jakarta.
stepping outside of the the YouTube and all that realm and then going into like something a little more serious that's politics and then having to speak on behalf of him and supporting and all that?
I feel like I started off like that. So I started off doing more activist stuff, you know. Yeah, I started off
No,
doing
that's
more
right.
activist things, and I felt like that like because I've had like a great network, I met these guys through there too, you know, and I feel
These
like
guys were activists too?
yeah,
What
I don't
the
know how.
Oh yeah.
But they have some like, you know,
Yeah.
they have some
They just
passion
wanted
in
to
there.
rap.
Yeah, they just wanted to
Even you volunteered a lot politically. too.
yeah, and I think like I was with, like I feel like we started like helping Jigmeet's campaign before it even became a campaign. You know,
Wow.
like it was like way like at the Gurdwara giving buttons to people to like do stuff. Like it was just like little things like that to like, you know, see where he's at. That's why I feel so passionate about it, because I see how like, you know, this guy really genuinely cares, and I know like his like motivation and his. He's ready to just inspire all these people.
No, he is, man. For somebody who goes from the background he has and then to almost get forced into politics by his peers.
Yeah,
like,
that's what happened.
yeah.
He got forced into it. It
sure.
was like all of us just like, do it.
No,
do it,
definitely,
do it.
because it's just the kind of person he was.
Yeah.
I think everybody's got a story about him. Like I remember when he was setting up soccer for youth, and I went actually with B Magics to kind of go play and support and whatever. And he just had kids at the soccer center just playing, and his whole thing was he just wanted kids to come out and be healthy and enjoy. You know.
I think I was there for that.
Possibly, yeah, possibly, yeah. So it's super dope. That guy has a heart of gold. So we're happy to see what he's done, and I really hope that he comes back stronger and actually gets through and becomes the prime minister of Canada.
I mean, what an
So,
impact that was. So I feel like it's so crazy to think, like even 10 years ago, 5 years ago, even to see how far
To see someone that looks like us on a debate
right
situation, like I would just confuse.
Yeah, it's so amazing. It's
And my
so
parents
dope.
never tuned into any of the debate
Yes.
stuff, and
There
they were
were-
just like watching. They're like, we don't know what he's talking
There
about.
were
But
people
that's fine.
around the world.
This is amazing.
There are people around the world watching.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I was in Malaysia, and
international.
everyone there is like, "Whoa, what?"
Oh,
you
they were
guys-"
watching back
They were
then?
watching,
Wow.
like it was.
You're
just
allowed
like,
to do that?
They're just like, and I think that's what it is because
Yeah.
you don't see this at all anywhere, and yeah, I think a lot of people are really tuning into what's happening here in
No, that's
Canada.
dope. Yeah, Canada is making
Yeah,
noise
yeah.
for sure. How often do you get mistaken for his wife?
Oh,
It's like a constant thing, eh?
oh, the memes I'll come for y'all, but I just so bad. Anyways, but yeah, it's pretty, it's pretty rough, man.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but Gurkitten is like, yeah, we've been mistaken for
I know
each
the
other
name doesn't
since
help
I
either,
thought
right?
you guys
Yeah.
were
Yeah.
twins,
sisters.
yeah, everyone.
When I first
Yeah,
met
you thought
Ginu
that
too,
too.
I was like, "Are you
yeah,
Karen's sister?"
yeah, everyone thinks that.
For
We've
sure.
known each other since we were 14. So it's
Are you
like,
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, no way. She went
Yeah.
to high school in Brampton as well?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
So we went to same high school. We were on the same basketball team.
Oh,
and we were
wow.
like, yeah, and we've been friends since then.
So people have been calling you sisters way
yeah,
before
that's
Digby.
actually
Yeah.
how we met each other because
Oh,
someone
okay, okay.
mistaken me for her, and then the same thing happened to her, and we're like, who the is
Who
that
is this
person?
girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like that's literally how it happened.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's dope. I want to take it a couple steps back
I
to...
was gonna say.
Yeah, a couple steps back to uni life. So
Okay.
you're learning video, and so you went to school for it was
Media production.
Media production,
Yeah.
and you get this call from Fateh in the middle of the night. He says that I need to shoot a music video. How does this work out, and how do you guys shoot a music video to send to Dr. Zeus?
That was
Yeah.
We've heard his side of
sketchy.
it. We got to hear
So
your side of it.
I don't know, man. I'm a sketchy person
Yeah.
sometimes. So I just like finessed. I don't know. I just like got some. I had an access key card. Do you remember those?
Yeah, I do remember. I remember once you told me you were like editing something in one of them too.
And I literally just like always used to take that and abuse it. And I'm like, yo, don't worry, guys, I got you. And I just like got this huge like Panasonic like camera, like
The
ones,
old
like,
school ones?
Yeah, like CP24 uses and like I don't know, rent it like this, and like rent it out like this. I don't know how I got it because I wasn't supposed to, but I got the green screen room and like just made it happen.
And you knew how to use everything at that point? And
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
deal?
yeah.
Oh,
I
okay.
knew, but it was just also I wasn't that good. I was still a student, you know. Like,
Yeah.
I was like,
we
yeah.
didn't know how to write our exam. That's
Yeah,
when we
like,
first met.
this is-
Like,
yeah,
How do we rate this
yeah.
test?
That he actually did a project.
It's like, hey, you're doing the same test as me. I can't figure it out. That's how we met.
Oh,
Yeah.
no
We were in the
way.
library, like right
Yeah.
beside each other.
And this
What,
guy
they
did-
gave you a test to take home?
There was
No,
like an
like
online
online
test
test.
that
Oh,
you had to
okay,
do to
okay,
start
yeah.
the class.
Uh-huh.
It was
And
pretty
then
fun.
Sorry,
like-
I didn't go to university. So
No.
Yeah.
What is that? But this guy fully did a project for me one
Oh,
time, and then he got me an A plus. So,
So you
good,
finessed
yeah.
Jyoti
Yeah,
as
I
well,
finessed
then,
Jyoti
yeah,
too,
okay.
yeah. I told you I'm a sketchy person.
Yeah, because Fateh mentioned that he was really nervous during that, and he's like, Karen is the one who helped me through that whole process and made that happen. So
Aw.
you kind of are the reason that Fateh is Fateh today. Can we give that
I
credit?
am the reason
Yeah.
that Fateh is who he
Takes
is.
all credit.
All the music that he makes.
You're writing in the background all
Yeah,
his,
this
all
is
his
actually
music,
his
man.
ghostwriter. Yeah. Oh my
No,
God.
that's dope.
Please
I,
don't
I'm
ask
gonna
me.
I'm gonna work backwards from there. Even you have a lot of famous people in your family, but one of them is your uncle Pee Wee.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a boxer. A movie just came out
Yes.
recently.
Yeah.
He has a lot of political history and just general history with
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
Can you talk about him a little bit?
Yes. Pete Mama. What's
Yeah.
up? I think he definitely is a huge influence on my activism. Like, I was going to his, like, Gay Ribbon friggin' foundation dinners that he used to do back in the day and, like, host, like, all these charity events, make us do those, like, the CN Tower climb?
Yeah, yeah.
He used to make us do that every year. Like,
Sorry, for those that don't know, this
Oh.
is Kieran's mama. He was the boxer that wasn't allowed to wear his pug in the ring
Yeah.
and basically fought for the right to wear his pug so he could box with it.
Yeah,
Crazy.
yeah, and I mean,
Crazy.
he fought like Ontario Supreme Court,
Yeah.
which was
Wow.
huge in 1999, which
That's
is like
crazy.
21 years ago.
Yeah, that's super
Yeah,
dope.
so for him to be like such a huge part of my life, I think having him all these years, we always like make jokes about it, but it's crazy to see how how far he's taken, and he's really paved the way for someone like me. So yeah.
And then do you know the concept behind the movie and how that came about?
Yeah, so the main actor, Prem, he actually was like a huge fan of my mama.
Okay.
And he like saw one of his interviews on the record, off the record. Do
Okay,
you guys
yeah.
remember that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So my mama was on that, and then like Brahim saw that interview and he was like, I just wanted to write his story and like make it happen. And yeah, it took like a while for it to
Was
like
that
come to
just
process.
Strompolopoulos off the
No,
record?
Yeah,
no.
Michael
no.
Landsberg
Michael
That's,
Landsberg, yeah, that's who it
Yes.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, so like,
Come on,
yes.
on TSN.
No, Kamal spoke. That's the first thing he said on the podcast.
All right, guys, I'm out.
Already done for the night.
So he drops the mic. Yeah. But yeah, that was. I mean, to see that too, like, it's so cool to have like my family be able to make a movie, and I was kind of mad that I wasn't in it.
I was gonna
lie.
say, how did you
But-
not get a part in that movie? What's
I
going
made
on
him
here?
feel really bad about it for a long time, and I still do. Anyways, but I think it was just so cool to be in theaters and like just like, I'm like, that's my mama's story. Like they're saying his name. It was just like so wild to me. And then like at the end, there's like a scene where my mama actually comes in and like,
Oh, in
I
the
don't
movie,
know.
yeah?
And
That's-
it was such a like at the end of our screening, we were all just were crying in tears because we're just like, my grandparents would never have thought like moving from India to here to have something that, like my mama's movie being in Hollywood, like it's crazy.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
is. Let's make some noise for that, man. Super. Pushing boundaries, man, and just and
Yeah.
opening doors for so many people. Like
Yeah.
I was just speaking to a gentleman that I work with. He used to be in the Canadian Army. And he was talking about the Sikh motorcycle club
Yes.
that they have. They're here now. So they used to be in Vancouver, and I think they have a big group here now as well. And he's organizing some sort of foundation. And he's like, I'm so nervous talking to these guys. And I was like, why? They're such like nice guys.
Yeah.
He's like, I just don't want to be disrespectful in any way. And he's like, they're so nice. They're helping out with like their whole foundation. It's like, I think if you hold people back from doing good things, like the fact that those guys are allowed to ride their motorcycles with their pugs has opened so many other doors. Like they do so
Yeah.
many charitable events.
Yeah.
They're always at all these foundations. Like I think with her uncle, he did the same thing. Like he's allowed Sikh boxers to come and be in the ring, and now that's opened doors for the little kid with the guti kid to be like,
Yeah.
hey, look, I want to be a boxer too, kind of
Yeah.
thing.
And like,
you know?
I don't think it wasn't just boxing. I'm
Yes,
sure it
so-
affected in
so
ways that
many
we
other-
can't even imagine.
confidence
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
people. You
I
know,
And it
mean,
was
just
so
to-
recent,
He's
like you
still
were saying.
doing, yeah,
99,
yeah,
that's nothing.
but
like-
he's still to this day, because we all know what's happening in France, what's happening in
Yeah.
Quebec, and like I think that even just like he's always in like those conversations trying to like change the the bill to be like allowing people that wear hijabs and
Oh, he gets involved in
yeah
all
he
that.
gets
Okay.
involved with like all these different like
Where's
places.
Nike at? How's Nike not made a like a bug? They made
Right?
the hijab. Like they need to make
What was the movie's name again? What was
oh
the movie?
Tiger.
Tiger.
Yeah,
Tiger.
yeah. Make sure you guys watch it.
For sure.
It's
Still.
good. Yeah.
Definitely.
You know? Yeah.
So you mentioned at the beginning of the show Anarkali. So Anarkali is actually your name in that show, right?
Yeah.
So this has been in the making for probably over 7-8 years now.
5 years.
But like,
Actually, for Rocky though, Rocky wanted to write this like 10 years ago, and then we met 5 years ago, and she's like, literally was in a car ride. And she's like, "Yo, I think you're my Anarkly." I'm like, "All right, let's do it." And like,
so she had the character already written.
Yeah, she had the character written. Yeah, and she's
Wow.
like, "You're her," and I'm like, "Okay, cool. I don't know what that means, and let's do it though." And then we just did it in like literally 2 months. Like 2 months later, we already shot the first 3 episodes, and
Damn.
yeah, and that was right when we just met like 2 months before that.
How does that work for somebody like I understand what it takes for a production like that, but it's a big production. So like, where is the money coming from? Who is all these people that are getting involved?
Yeah,
like, how
you're
does
getting
this all work?
bigger and bigger cast every year.
Yeah, and you guys
Yeah.
are shooting. It's not like just a low budget thing. It's shot very well, and
Yeah,
you guys are
thank you.
scripted, and it's a real show.
Yeah, man.
So-
That's why people keep asking for season 4.
Yeah.
But it's just because there's no money. But honestly,
Who can we ask?
Rocky funded the first 2 seasons.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Shout out to her for that,
Her
man.
mortgage
She-
just
oh,
went
wow.
into this.
She
yeah,
needs a GoFundMe or
yeah,
something.
yeah,
you know?
you need a GoFundMe.
Yeah.
But in the 3rd season, we were lucky enough. Like, we took our time with it, and we decided to work with some big shots in the city in Toronto. And there was this little like hub called Deas, and they were run by Bell Media. And so for like a year, they were like allowing to all these like projects to be happening and whatnot and getting greenlit. And I don't know what happened, but they shut it down really quickly. And our project, Anarkly Season 3, was the only one that was like still greenlit.
Oh,
Oh,
wow.
Yeah,
damn.
so we were really lucky
Yeah.
that happened because
That was the higher ups who made that decision.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, and so, yeah, it was like, but it was so much like we had a huge production team for that, and that was really cool because like it felt like a real set. We had a
Yeah.
whole. It wasn't just like me editing, 22 hours
Did
right
you
before.
did you edit the
Yeah,
first
the first
couple
2
s-
seasons
Oh,
I
wow.
did. Yeah, so like it was the first 2 seasons were a mess.
It's
because
weird
it was just,
editing
like,
yourself too.
Yeah,
That's
I had
the
to
most
really.
awkward thing in the
I'm
world.
still not used to it. I'm such an asshole
Like,
to myself.
like
yeah.
you're an audio engineer. Imagine
Yeah.
you had to produce a song and you were the one on it.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't.
It would be so weird,
It's
right?
the
It
I
would
don't
just
even
be-
listen to.
so,
I don't even listen
Imagine
to
her
these
being in front of the
shows.
camera. Imagine her being in front of the camera and then
Yeah.
editing it afterwards.
Yeah.
She'd be like, "I hate this shot. I hate this
But
shot."
it's
That's how I.
It's a blessing though, because then I can now like also be like, "Yeah, I know what the best shot is, and like not let some other fool take over and think it's good. I'm like a little bit of a perfectionist.
That's not my good side.
Yeah, it's not my good side. But it's it used to be a lot of work because it was like 6 months after we released Punjabi Mime Through Time and that went viral. We only had the first 3 episodes of Anarkly ready, and then we had to drop it right away, which was such a stress because we're like, we have to drop after like this crazy viral video happened.
Yeah,
We only have
follow
3
up.
episodes, and then after that, it was like writing, editing, shooting, releasing every week for 6 months.
Every
Damn.
week.
Yeah.
Do you remember
That's
how the
been
reaction
insane.
was to the first episode that you guys dropped?
Yeah, it was insane. Everyone just like really resonated with the series, and like to this
Everyone was kinda
day,
like,
yeah,
whoa.
I feel like to this day the fact that like it's been 2 years since we released
Yeah.
Oh,
the
damn.
last.
Is that more of a North American fan
Uh-oh.
base, or are you getting India as well?
India? Well, I feel like UK is a huge one. Australia.
Oh, yeah.
And North America. India's good, but I feel like we could be doing more there for sure. Yeah. But
Have you guys-
Sony India has like reached out and really
I was
wants
gonna
to
say,
work
like,
with us, yeah.
have you guys thought about Netflix and that whole deal? Like, I'm sure
Yeah.
it's been a conversation
yeah,
you guys have had, right?
definitely. Next steps are to try to get to
Is it true? You could
distribution.
probably tell me with your background that when you shoot something to have it on Netflix, it has to be shot on a certain camera.
I don't know. Actually, I don't know
No?
about that.
I think I looked it up a while back, and there was like a list of cameras that they preferred or
Really?
something. But
Yeah.
I don't
It's
know
It's
what
probably
that whole
preferred,
process
but if you're doing something that's
that is 4K
creative or
Yeah.
indie or whatever it is, what are they really going to say if it's
Yeah,
if they
it's
like
not
it?
Still,
that,
like
exactly.
the list of cameras is probably to make it
Recommended,
like,
or
to
they're-
the
they're-
level of Netflix.
That's
so you
true,
can't
yeah,
have
yeah.
like
'Cause
you
they're-
can't be using-
DSLR.
Because I looked up those
Right.
cameras, and they're all like starting at like 25,000 a camera.
because they're all
Well, yeah.
cinematic,
Well,
so
for,
it's got to
like,
be a production.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
Anarkly, though, like our purpose was like, I don't know if you guys know about the show Insecure on HBO, but the creator of it is her name's Issa Issa Rae, and she's just like been killing it. And she started off with a web series, and now she has a show.
Lisa Rae?
Issa Rae.
Issa Rae.
Yeah,
I was like, Lisa?
no, Lisa Rae. She's this black woman, but she's like killing it, and like she has Solange as the music supervisor on it.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
it's like heavyweights are on that show.
Uh-huh.
And now she's doing so well. Like they're on their 3rd season on HBO, and it started off with like a dinky little web series, and I think that's where we were inspired. That we want to do the same thing. We want to be able to do that for our community. Like start on a web series, do it ourselves, but then hopefully gets picked up by a network, and we do it again and do it bigger, and like
I feel like in the
That's
South
the
Asian
joke.
community, like there's a lot of web series coming out of India as well now.
Yeah.
And a lot of them are really good as well.
Yeah.
Like the one I know of is it's called Yaran Mulle.
No.
Is that it?
Jiggery,
Jiggery,
something
yeah,
like that.
Yar Jiggery Kasuti Jiggery. And like at first I was
Random
like,
facts that he
Yeah.
knows.
Como spoke again.
Speak more, yeah.
Yo, I was laughing before because of that comment. Remember? They're like, "Oh, I thought KSR was a mannequin the whole time because he didn't speak yet." We get a lot of hater comments. Karen. I'm sure you get a lot of those.
Yeah, it's okay.
okay.
I don't see them.
For those
Black now the haters.
for those that do want to have never heard of the show, where can they find it and where can they watch it?
Jadika?
No, Anarkali.
Oh, Anarkali. YouTube.com/MSMUTTA. It's just on YouTube.
and
It's
you're on
accessible.
season, you said
season
3.
3.
So when
Just
we're
season is
waiting for
complete.
season 4.
So
now.
I think I don't want to be a spoiler. I guess I could be, but you just got proposed to in the end of season 3. Is that true?
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look
Okay.
at
See, I
you
follow a little
watching.
bit. Yeah. I
We'll
do
put
my
a-
research.
He watched the last episode. That's all.
When you said, hey, no, he's secretly watching it. I know.
No, I've watched. I can't lie. I'm not gonna say I've watched every episode, but I flicked through it. Yeah. No, I appreciate the talent, man. You guys do a really, really good job. It's cool. If it was like a low budget, shitty show, I probably wouldn't. But
Yeah.
I can appreciate the fact that it's a good show and you guys do put the energy, effort into it.
Shout outs to Ramona, one of my friends. Mona.
Mona,
Yeah.
yeah. I thought you said Ramona.
Her name is Ramona,
Is
actually.
it?
Yeah, so Mona.
I didn't even know
But
that.
shout outs to Mona.
Oh, yeah, Mona's
You
like
just
dope.
brought her
She's
on the show
great.
recently.
Yeah.
I've
she's
seen a few episodes too.
Oh,
Okay.
Because you, DJ Envy was in
Yes,
some parts. So
where is
Yeah, that-
Envy today? What's
you're
up?
supposed to
DK.
come.
Yeah.
Oh my
But,
God, what? Yeah, Envy was supposed to be here?
Yeah.
Wow.
But he didn't come.
Yeah.
But he took the frequency boots. I just want to see
Yeah.
product placement.
Yeah.
So-
Nice.
Yeah.
So make sure you check out that episode, guys.
Yeah, check it out.
What
I
did
don't
he-
think we got a chance to make it because the shots that we wanted for that, it
Uh-huh.
just didn't work.
Do you guys, you obviously
Season
have to
4,
use all
season-
original music, right, in that show?
Yeah,
Who do you
all
guys go
original.
to for that?
Literally, thankfully, I know a lot of great artists that are willing to give me their music for free,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's how
Dope.
it happens. Yeah,
Smart.
Nice,
awesome.
yeah.
nice.
I got connected to a really dope guy, Gaten Jogia, who is a sound engineer as well, and
Mm-hmm.
he produced a lot of cool things for the show. So like
Nice.
little scoring and stuff like that for
Dope,
the
dope.
3rd season. Yeah.
I know a lot of the listeners that are listening or watching are going to want to know, what is KayRay listening to? What's on your playlist right now?
Oh my gosh, like Punjabi wise or like
Or
anything?
anyone,
Oh
either
my
one.
God, okay.
Yeah.
Do you listen to a lot of
Um,
Punjabi music?
Honestly, not new school stuff. Hey, I listen to Jyoti.
Thank you.
Jyoti Jind, yeah?
I listen to a guy named Villa.
Villa,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's pretty cool. Check him
Yeah.
out.
He's a nice guy.
He's a nice
Yeah.
guy. Check him out. Honestly, I know this sounds so lame, but I listen to a lot of Beyonce.
Yeah.
It helps me. It just, I don't know
Sick.
what she does. She
Well-
just gets me energized.
Well, we're going to get you to MC host into a song while we take a quick break, and then
Okay.
we'll come right back. So you pick a song, whatever song, and you shout it out, and we're going to listen to it.
You're going to listen to
We're
Beyonce
going to listen to
right now?
whatever you want.
Yo,
whatever
she's
you
gonna
want.
shut our channel down, man. We're not playing any Beyonce yet.
Yeah. Let's give Frequency and Friends a shout out into
okay.
the camera, and we're gonna play a track.
Okay.
How about this? Let's so we could play your video, your original video with
Yeah.
the car video.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Car
yeah.
karaoke?
Carpool
Yeah.
karaoke.
Let's do
Yeah,
that.
let's
Yeah.
play that so everybody can
Let's
see
show
that,
you
Okay,
guys
right?
cool, yeah.
All right, don't shut us
Wanna
down on
drop
our
it? Wanna drop
YouTube
it?
page.
Hey,
Frequency and Friends.
hey, Frequency and friends. Please watch this video.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back.
I don't know what that.
Nailed it. Nailed it.
Welcome back, Frequency and friends. It's your girl KayRay.
Yeah. That was sick. That was sick.
There we go. There we go. We got the what do you call it? I'm lost for words. The shoe in or the introduction.
Yes.
I'll stick with that.
I think you should stick to the script.
Whoa, that went downhill.
All right, Karen, it's ride or die.
Yes,
we're in
it's all ride or
it's
die.
ride or
You know
die.
what it
You know what it is. You know what we're talking about over here. All right, so we're into the second portion of our interview here. We've covered quite a bit, but there's certain things that we just have to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Who is this auntie who stole Ja the Cup show? Like we mentioned it earlier. I saw it quickly on your Instagram. You posted about it. You normally don't post anything that shows any sort of emotion in the upset realm, but you needed to speak up on this. What was that all about?
I mean, I think it's just because over the years, so many things have been stolen and like ideas have been stolen, videos, pictures used in like different ways without permission that I've never said anything just because I didn't want to make a big deal about it or like, I just didn't want to go down that road. But this time I was just like, man, I have an entire team that's behind this. We've been working so hard, especially the second season. Like we've been putting so much time and energy into it. And I just felt for like my team. I felt for other artists that experience this all the time. And I was just really frustrated with the network, to be honest, because I feel like, I've been on this network before where I've been interviewed by them. And it's just like, who I am.
It's an India network?
It's PTC.
PTC, okay.
Know
Yeah.
that
I'll
one.
say
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
ahead,
We
go
steal their shows for free on our IPTV box, so it is what it is. You know?
Sorry.
Yeah, it's back and forth. But I think my frustration with it is just that, this is the thing about opera, right? So it's like with Bollywood, with, the Punjabi industry, we take from younger creatives or smaller creatives, and we just kind of, take their shit and then just like make money behind it. And like, it's really shitty. And it just becomes like this weird tacky thing that's like something you could have just put your money behind that artist instead of like doing this entire new thing.
Yeah.
We have an entire team of women and young people, and you could have put your money behind that. But instead you decided to take this
Do your own
idea
tacky
and do
version
your
of it.
own
You
entire
should just globally trademark Ja the
jog
Cup
up, yeah.
and just screw them completely.
I mean,
Right.
you know what it is? It's not as easy as that as well. Like, I mean, I'm sure you looked into the technicalities of it. We've looked into it with this, and it's like, I mean, I think it just comes down to just general respect for somebody's craft, right?
Right.
And I get what you're saying, like,
Yeah.
if you trademark it, but like, what are you gonna do? Go to India and go sue them and like?
And India doesn't respect the copyright.
No,
That's the
not at
thing.
all.
There's
So, like,
about 3 DJ KSRs in India.
oh my god! Like it's
Shout out to,
Like for real, I'm
shout
telling
out
you.
to DJ
my
Brother,
God.
DJ KSR.
We share it in the group all the time. We're like, yo, come on, nice picture.
like it's the worst. I feel for you.
I mean, I messaged him. He's
Yeah.
like, yo, I'm your fan. What am I supposed to say? I'm like, alright, keep it.
But see, that's what they think. They think they're doing, like they're appreciating it. But it's
Yeah.
like, no, you're profiting off of someone that just already created this entire thing, put so much time and energy into it. So
Yeah.
I think that's my frustration. And like we set up like Jodlik Up to be this beautiful space to have wonderful conversations. And like we talk about things that are taboo. We don't talk about just fluff stuff. Yeah, that comes up. But like we talk about really deep things. And I think just for the community to do that, it's like, yo, we're
Like,
one
why?
of you. Like, you know, why would you
Just-
do that?
Maybe you could have just had the show and had a different name. Like, they didn't have to
Exactly.
go directly for your whole concept,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So I think that was the frustration behind it. It was just like,
And like you said, you've been on this channel before, so like they
Yeah.
know. It's not even like it was an unknown mistake, and they just
Yeah.
came up with the same. They copied
Yeah.
the name exactly. Java
yeah.
Cup.
Well, they changed it a little bit just so I guess, so they could avoid the trouble. But
Cup.
they added
like
another
Cup?
A.
Oh.
That's it.
Have-
I thought it was gonna be
Yeah.
like Chaka Cup.
Yeah, I know.
Instead
Just
of like
this.
Jada Cup.
Have you had
Yeah.
any contact with anybody on that side?
So we have reached out. We haven't heard back yet. There's some people that have reached out from their ends. Like, I guess the people that were like associated with them saying, hey, we saw what happened or whatever. So there is a little bit of a conversation. A lot of my audience has been having my back, which is really nice. But it's not even about that. It's honestly just the bigger problem is that why do we keep doing this? Why not put money behind, these younger creatives?
Yeah.
why
them
do you
the-
keep doing that?
Yeah,
Why?
give them the push that they're looking for. They
Yeah.
put the groundwork in to create a show.
You
All
know?
they need
That's
is
true.
that backing to
And
really
this is
take
what
it
we
to the
wanted.
next level.
Yeah, like of course we want to be on a network. Of
Yeah.
course we want to get to that level. But
that-
it's just like you keep holding us back from not giving us these opportunities.
And like
Absolutely.
our side of that culture isn't reflected on general Punjabi TV. yet.
Exactly,
It's
yeah,
not, and
yeah.
it's not just North America or just Canada. It's global. Like
Yeah.
our generation, our culture.
Yeah.
It's global, but you can't see it anywhere on the Indian Punjabi networks. And stuff.
Yeah.
It's all still very traditional stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you're seeing it more
Unfortunately.
now with like the hip hop culture is really broken into
Definitely, yeah.
India, and they have these talk shows, and you see the guys with the hats like Jyoti's wearing and all that, and they got that like tone. You can hear like they've been
Yeah.
listening to some Tupac or something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
you know? Like so you're getting that hip hop influence. So I think a change will come, but it's when these old fucks that are in the businesses that are just
Yeah.
looking to make money off of it, when
Yeah.
they start to phase out and then their kids are running it, I think that's when the change will come. Like
Yeah.
if you look at the evolution of hip hop, like just that show, for instance, the people who made the change and invested in these young black artists were the sons of the guys who were the guys for like Sony or for whoever, Loud Music or whoever, and they were the ones who really brought the opportunity and change. So I think it's coming. It's just not coming quick enough.
Yeah.
And in a world today where we're joined by the internet and you can really just speak to somebody within a few seconds by typing a message, it's unfortunate that these people are still putting the dollar over creativity and art.
Yeah.
Like I don't think a lot of people appreciate that when somebody puts their hard work and effort into something, it's their art. That's what
Yeah.
they put all this work into this,
Yeah.
and you're just stealing their idea and just going to make a dollar off
Yeah,
of it.
it's
right?
true. And like I think it's across the board, whether it's with music or movies or any
Yeah.
sort of creative in the Punjabi industry or the
Yeah.
Indian industry
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah,
Like
Bollywood
for
does
example,
it
if
all
you're,
the time.
if you're trying to get funding from a label or for a movie or anything, like even with movies, it's all about the names. So if you have someone that's already in the industry, regardless of if they're outdated and older, like they don't care.
Yeah.
This person's established. They're secure with that, and that they're like, okay, let's go with this, as opposed to trying
Bringing
out the
someone
new,
up
younger
new,
people,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like if you look at the movies, Punjabi movies, there's very rarely an actual actor that's just an actor. It's like, oh, this singer's already popular. Let's get him
Yeah.
and make a movie because we're guaranteed to make.
Money from
Money
it.
off of it.
Yeah.
They don't want to take
As
the
opposed
risk,
to,
I guess,
right?
is
Same
what it
thing.
really
So
is.
it,
right?
that's
Yeah.
what the whole industry is lacking.
Yeah. JJ felt like you were gonna say something.
Yeah, I
You were
thought so,
really
too.
ready.
I feel like if you owned a business, at the end of the day, if you own a business, and I was supposed to take a risk, I would want to take a risk. But if I was going to take one risk, I would have 10 guys. If I had to make 10 movies, it would be 10 guys. Diljit would be in 10 of the movies, and the 11th movie that I'm doing, I would do with like a new person. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, you don't know if that movie is going to make money. You
Yeah.
don't know. You can believe in it all you want,
Yeah.
but you have no idea where that's going to go.
Right.
If I have a big name in a movie, or if it's a big thing happening,
Yeah.
I know I'm going to make some money. In
Yeah.
your situation with Jada Cup, I don't know who that lady is. That set looks
If you guys
so
saw a picture,
shit.
it's Satinder
What is-
Sati, right? Like the lady who's like she's the
Yeah.
MCs all the
Who
time.
is she? Is she an
No, if you
actress
guys saw
or-
her picture, you guys definitely let's pop up a picture on the podcast. You guys will definitely know who she is.
Yeah.
Oh, who
I don't
is
She has
know.
she?
a
I've
really
seen her
sharp
picture.
nose and she has a really
Yeah.
high pitched Punjabi voice.
Where is she from?
She always
Movies?
MCs everything.
She was in Gianu. What is that movie?
Oh, okay, okay.
She
Yeah. With Harpa Janman back in the day.
That nobody watched.
I've seen her
Yeah.
picture, and I have no idea who
Everyone's
she is.
Yeah, but the
Almost
thing
like
is,
everybody's
I'm not
seen
gonna
that
even
movie.
I'm not gonna even blame her. To be honest, it's the network as well,
100%.
right? So like it's like well, we can go after her all we want, but it's like it's really the network.
Yeah, they
that's
hired
kind
her
of-
for a job, and she
Exactly.
probably may not even have ever seen the show. They're
Yeah,
just like, here,
so
this is the concept,
exactly.
this is what you're doing,
That's
right?
the thing. So
Yeah.
it's like
Oh, they're coming after us now. Jyoti, PTC's coming after
Yeah,
us
yeah, I
now.
know.
You
They didn't
exposed-
see what
Yeah.
picture I showed you.
Yeah, they're not gonna play your song.
They're not playing it anyways because I don't my budget's not that high. So
I mean, it's unfortunate, but I'm
Yeah.
glad that you guys are taking whatever steps that you can.
Yeah.
And my advice would be keep pushing Jalika because
Yeah.
what you're doing, they can't do. You know,
Yeah.
you're the original. Like you said, you do push boundaries on that show,
Mm-hmm.
and you guys have had phenomenal guests come through it. So keep
thanks.
that going for sure,
Thank
man.
you, I
Shout out to
appreciate
Jalika.
yeah, I think I just need to work harder. That's it.
Like, you're working pretty hard, my friend.
have you
Don't
watched
worry.
have you watched their episodes? Like, do they do justice to it? How do you feel about it?
I don't
you
want to talk
about
about
it?
it.
All right.
I don't know. That I won't answer.
Karen, what I do want to talk about in the realm of pushing boundaries, you've always throughout your career have pushed the boundaries, and sometimes that's been great and accepted, and then sometimes you've had a negative aspect of it, or then hurdles that you've had to jump. How does it feel when you do like a shoot? You've done some racy shoots or things that could be considered, that aren't in the norm in our tradition or culturally appropriate, whatever you want to call it. How do you deal with that when you have a project like that comes out? You're free, you're doing what you want to do, you're enjoying what you want to do, but it's not accepted, let's say through family or through friends or your brother who's really a scary man.
And like we talked,
Nobody knows that.
we mentioned stuff earlier too, like as far as identity as well, like all that stuff was very out there and it was shared everywhere, and I'm sure that was a lot of pressure on you as well.
Yeah.
Just controversial in general. Like how does that work with you, and how do you accept it and work through it?
Thank you for asking that, because I don't think anyone's asked me yet. So I don't know. I think for me, like when we did a specific shoot with Money Jussel and my business partner Bali, and honestly, it was like such a great experience because I was working with these wonderful women. Amin from Majestic was also there, and it was just like really safe space. And for me, I felt like I've been modeling for 7 years now, and I haven't really got to explore this side of things. And I felt like it was more of like a badass shoot. It was like
100%.
I'm just owning my shit, and I finally feel confident. I used to be so shy, like I mentioned before, and I think as especially brown women, we never talk about sex openly. We don't talk about our sexuality, and we're very uncomfortable talking about that. And even for me, I'm talking to a group of guys about this now,
This is a huge topic. Like just watching movies, like the current movies, you can't watch them in your family.
Yeah, you want to leave the room. I still leave the room.
I was watching Power yesterday with my wife, and I was like, when the sex scene comes on, make sure you forward, because if mom comes downstairs,
that's it. Dude, what the hell?
And I'm in my 30s, and it's just it is
like we couldn't watch Game of Thrones at my house when everyone used to get together until mom went to sleep.
Yes.
And like these are things, and then it also goes into more conversations about India. Like if these things aren't visibly always there for everyone, then it becomes part of the culture.
I mean, Bollywood's trying to do all this now, and it's so
late.
uncomfortable to watch with them now, right? But I think with me, it was just like I had to have the most difficult conversation with my dad about it, and it happened literally because it was like a year after these photos were taken. Honestly, we released it for Valentine's Day, and it was all about self-love and just it was all in context. And then the photos a year later, literally it was with when Jagmeet and them,
Also, nobody made noise about it when they actually dropped.
No.
Oh, wow.
No, nobody made noise. Everyone was like, "Oh my God, yes, sis!" Really loving it, And then only one person messaged me saying, because I used a vape in it, and people thought it was a real cigarette, and so then people lost their shit about that. And I was like, well, it was one girl, really. And she was like, my dad had, I'm laughing, oh my God, cut this out. Oh my God. But she's like, my dad had lung cancer. And I'm like, how are you saying that? Did I, what?
Did I give it to you?
Yeah, I don't know how you're making me feel. And I'm like, it's a prop. You see rappers smoking all the time. Are you going to their DMs and telling them not to be doing that? I don't know. I just think as brown women, we feel this weird responsibility for some reason. And I felt like the first time in a long time, I felt very owned by the community when that came out. I was like,
how could you be this and then do this?
How do you have so many complexities? How are you talking about secure and talking about activism and talking about this and then also being sexual? It's how are you doing all these? I'm like,
but that's who.
This is literally every girl probably, and they just don't show everyone. You know what I mean? They just don't have the confidence to put it out there.
Absolutely.
Because
good for you.
Because then there's so many men that just come after and make you feel so shitty about it. And so it was on all these meme accounts and whatnot. And I think when that happens, and my family did see it and they were upset about it. I'm not gonna lie, but this is my first time talking about it. But it was just I had to have that conversation with my dad. I'm like, listen, I'm not gonna stop because you told me to. You know, I'm not gonna stop because all these people think this way. That's their dirty
And it was taken out of
minds.
context.
Yeah, it was taken out of
they
context.
used that
Exactly.
for their benefit. It
Yeah.
wasn't like, why wasn't it made a big deal before? Like you
Yeah,
said.
it was a
used-
year
Actually,
later.
I was in one of those pictures, and
Yeah,
it was when we were
yeah.
at some event.
Yeah.
And we were sitting on a couch, and that
Oh,
picture
yeah,
was shared
yeah,
part
yeah,
of it.
yeah.
And I got the message so many times too,
Oh,
like, "Oh, Jyoti,
really?
look, you're in this picture," and it was
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
funny
yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But every response, I was like, okay,
Yeah.
why are you even like? Why are you
Why is that a
messaging me? Like,
thing?
we're at a party. And
Yeah.
we're, like, I don't understand.
Yeah.
I don't understand why, it made no sense at all.
And I think that's what
it
makes
was all political.
it was
like-
so ridiculous. And I
was so
think what so
stupid.
many people are just holding, just because they see women feeling comfortable with themselves, they're like, yo, let me just take everything she's ever done and just make it seem like, you know, just demean it all and just make it seem like it has no value. And I think that was really frustrating for me. I felt really, really shitty that time because I was just like, yo, I put it on for you guys more than anyone else, and like you're gonna make me feel bad about
You
it.
probably
But-
felt like people that were on your side turn away.
yeah, definitely. But I think I pulled through. I was traumatized, but
How was the post conversation with your dad? Like post conversation, we don't want to talk about the conversation with your
No.
dad, but like how was it afterwards? Easy, like I understand, or like I
honestly,
get it, or
I had to use the word sexualized with
Oh,
my
man.
dad, and it was like, I'm like, they're sexualizing you, Dad.
He's like, they're wedding
He's like,
you.
what is this?
But it's probably easier for you than a lot of people because your
Yeah.
parents went to school here at least, right?
Yeah. And they're like, what the hell? Like me saying that to my dad, if you see my dad, you know, he's like, what the hell are you saying to me?
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, he got through it. Like he got through it. He had to. Just like, what is she gonna do? She's gonna do it anyways, you know. And it's not in a bad way. She's not doing anything that's like disrespecting anyone or whatever the hell anyone wants to say. I had those conversations, and you know, he was like, all right, cool. I understand where you're coming from. He came to terms
Like
with it.
I'll tell you my experience with that exact situation. So your brother actually messaged me and he was like, "Oh,
my
you know,
gosh,
like
yeah.
these pictures, what's going on?"
Yeah.
And I was like, honestly, I told him straight up, and I probably still have the messages. And I was like, what's wrong with it? She's in that industry where she models. You know,
Yeah.
it's her friend's clothes.
Yeah.
I go. And he was explaining that, you know, I guess your dad's peers had seen the
Yeah.
pictures or whatever. I can understand from his standpoint where it made him feel uncomfortable or
Yeah.
whatever. I would feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm sure my dad would if it was my sister.
Yeah.
But it's you got to see beyond that. It's what you're doing for every other girl who has
Yeah.
wanted to kind of be free and has been
Yeah.
enclosed in that little box or not been allowed to express themselves. And it's not like they were disrespectful pictures. They were just a little more than what you're used to kind
Yeah.
of thing. You
And
know?
if you look back in them, you're gonna be like, oh, what the hell? Because
It's-
now if you see on
yeah.
Instagram, it's so normal that like everyone's
it's-
wearing thoughty ass clothes.
You know what I
Like,
mean?
it's
Like,
Now it's hard to find a
yeah.
picture that's not like that, right?
Exactly. It's like all
No,
these
for sure, for
selfies,
sure.
You know?
So-
Like,
I mean,
good for you, though.
Kudos to you for breaking out of the box and doing something
Yeah.
different because it really takes that one step forward for everybody else to be like, okay, now we can take that step too because
Yeah.
somebody's got to get shit on for doing it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I guess it had to
I'm
be
gonna
you. You
just
know?
keep taking the heat. Y'all.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a cool photo shoot in my opinion. I think
Thank
what you
you.
guys did was really cool. You guys,
Yeah.
Manny Jussel, which I wanted to speak soon about as well, has done fantastic with her clothing and had so many creative outfits put together and thought outside of the box. And just the simple fact that she's in Yorkville, like.
man.
It is insane, you know. So
know. Shout outs to
mean,
her.
I'm glad you made it out of that situation alive with
Yes,
your,
I
your
was.
dad and your brother. And,
Yeah.
and I'm-
Nobody knows that though. Like a lot of people don't know that. Oh wait, she has a family, you
Yeah.
know, or like
Oh,
you
for
know,
sure.
they don't think that at all.
Especially when they're writing stuff
all these
online,
things,
right?
yeah.
Like,
And
they
I
don't
think that was like I was more
it
frustrated
actually
with that. I'm like,
resonates.
yo, I'm not trying to say like
But the-
I'm disrespecting my family, but I have a family at the end of the day, and for you guys to just like say these things and whatnot, I don't care. I'll take the hit, but like don't say
it's
things.
hard for them to.
They can't handle it, so
Yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like that.
No,
There's a lot of like we were talking about it before too, just online hate.
Yeah, yeah,
There's so much of it.
Yeah.
So the fact that you were able to deal with it, overcome with
yeah.
it. A lot of people out there that are online
aren't that great?
They have nothing better to do. People are just sitting
Yeah.
there and just.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, tell us more. Tell us more about the haters.
Kamal has his own share of haters.
I'll think stuff. Maybe tell my wife, but I wouldn't like write anything out. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like writing it out, and it's not even like, oh, like it's not even in a nice way. Sometimes it's so like, yo, you like,
You really got out of your way to
who
say
are
that.
you?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you just
who
because
are
you're
you?
able to comment something, you feel so opinionated to like, okay, if give your opinion, but give it in a creative or
Yeah,
a,
constructive
constructive.
criticism. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm really
Don't be
curious to know?
attacking you and like there's a person on the other end. So when you
Yeah.
read that, it hurt. Like
They don't
you're kind of like
know.
there'll be like 50 good comments and that one bad comment.
Because
you'll be
they
like,
feel detached.
"Whoa."
They feel detached. They
Yeah.
wouldn't say that to you in person. You know what I mean?
No,
And then even if they
100%,
do,
yeah.
they would say backhanded compliments.
Yeah.
So it's
Or
like
they'll
the-
do it under a fake account
Yeah,
called.
exactly.
Hey,
Yeah.
Karen, I want to know what the conversation was with your mom during that time. Because obviously we know it was a rough one with your dad and getting through it, and I'm glad you guys got through. But how
Yeah.
was that reaction with your mom?
My my mom knows that I'm like I'm very like I'm just gonna do what I want to do, and I know I always do think about my family as well. Going back to Anarchally, actually, so there is a scene. It was the first time in 3 seasons I actually kissed someone on screen, and it's like so ridiculous. I'm like, why are we like touching each other? We're not like showing any affection at all. But it was the 3rd season, the last episode, and I waited to the last hour to tell my dad.
Before he
Before
watched
it released,
it? Oh.
yeah, before it released online, I'm like, oh my god, I had a year to tell him, and I just like waited the last hour, and I was like, Dad, I just gotta tell you something, and I just like went in. I'm like, it's just a kiss. It's like Disney. Like, don't even think about it like that. It's not even like anything.
Disney. It's Disney.
And then he's like, honestly, you already did it, and this is after all that stuff happened, and it was
Yeah.
like, you know, he was just like, you already did it. Like, what am I gonna do to tell you to stop? You know, and like, I feel like he's really getting it now to understand like this is what it is. My mom, like, also I feel like she gets it. But you know, I think with moms, the thing is they get kind of thrown under the bus as well, and
Tiri
like,
kuriya, una
yeah,
gala
exactly.
yeah,
And so
the
they
whole
kind
thing.
of, she like gets the hit too.
Yeah.
I get the hit from the community. My mom gets the hit in the house. So like, you know, like everyone's like, well, what did you do? Why didn't you like tell her? And you know, and I think my mom's always like really had my back.
And it's
so-
always, it's not even sometimes at home, it's the other aunties, you know, that
Yeah, yeah,
always
yeah,
love to
yeah.
talk,
Yeah.
and then you
Yeah.
got to hear it. And as much
Yeah.
as like every parent loves their kid,
Yeah.
sometimes it's fucking annoying to
Yeah.
hear all the other people say all the shit
Yeah.
that
And, like-
they're talking, you know?
Like the positive things aren't shared. Like
Yeah.
Oh, they're not going to talk about
negative
the
things are-
activist
yeah.
stuff that you
Right,
did, you
yeah.
know? No.
No, and I
Yeah.
think it's nice, but like you know what? With that situation, my mom was really, really like. I think she's more so scared of like my dad's reaction and my brother's reaction because they're so like dominant in the house. But other people, like we just like my mom's always been like, I don't give a shit about what other people think, and like my mom,
That's
my
awesome.
mom's on IG, okay, so she like comments back.
No way.
To any haters that I have. Like, she's actually said
crazy.
the funniest shit to people. She's like, who the fuck do you think you are? And she's like full on swearing and stuff, too. It's like
That's-
so amazing. I'm like, that's my mom.
That's dope,
Yeah,
man. I was
yeah.
talking to my mom about something about that kind of similar in the sense that, you know, when people would get married back home in Punjab and they would talk about, okay, that person's from that band and they come from that family. I go, we're kind of developing that society here in,
Yeah.
in Brampton, Mississauga, wherever you're at now. It's kind of like, I know JJ, I know his parents, you know, I know his upbringing. And it's like we start to develop a society here. And as we grow, I mean, it's not like anybody, if you're doing something that is not appropriate or bad, everybody knows about it, you know?
Yeah.
But when it's in the media world and you're putting art out there, it's a totally different concept. Like you're putting it out there as art, you're modeling,
Yeah.
you're putting it as a product for people to view or to sell or to see or whatever the case may be.
I also noticed that people don't like Operator do not know how to disassociate. So like they see me as KayRay and they're like, KayRay's doing this. You know what I mean? So even in Anarchally, there was like drinking. We were drinking and we were like, you know, there's episodes where we're like smoking weed and stuff or whatever. And like obviously it's props on set.
Yeah.
We're not really drinking. Right now I'm
Yeah.
in another conversation. But on like set, it's like,
Yeah.
it's, you know, we're not actually doing that.
Yeah.
And people would just take it out of proportion. So it's like when people they don't see like they're like there. I remember there's like things like KayRay smoking weed and like And there's like memes about that. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with y'all? It's a character, you know? Like, but they just can't disassociate. And that was the same thing that happened with the pictures. It's like they're not seeing it as like a character because we called the character like Maya as well.
There's still a huge gap.
Yeah, but there's just a whole huge gap. They're like, oh, KayRay's wearing sexy clothes. Oh no,
Yeah,
she's Jigme's sister-in-law apparently. I don't know, man. It was getting wild out there.
Jigme got thrown under the bus,
Jigme
too.
got thrown in the bus. Then people thought I was Jigme's wife at one point.
Oh no.
Yeah, and they're like, they just got rocked, and then they put a fucking picture of it. Like, what the fuck is going on, man? This is
Oh,
like,
man.
yeah, that's a horrible. I'm
I
sorry,
gotta-
Jigme.
I gotta ask you. I
Yeah.
saw your self-made montage of the past decade.
Oh,
Very creative, very cool.
you.
Was there a proposal at the end? I saw a bunch of candles on the ground with my friend Villa in there. What was going on with that? It's something that we need to announce live on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
no.
This is sweet romantic birthday.
Oh,
that's
okay,
all.
okay.
He's a little bit
Shout
of a
out to
romance
Villa.
guy.
He looks like a villain, but he's a romantic
He's a
at
little
heart.
teddy bear. He's a little teddy bear.
Villa's dropping new music soon too, so we're
Yes.
excited. I think he
Check
just
him
had a
out.
track mastered by the Mix
JJ.
and Master
Made,
man, right?
mixed, mastered.
Everything
Wow,
by
you gotta
JJ.
know.
All right.
Yes.
So we're looking
It's
forward
coming.
to that.
It's probably already out by now, right?
No, we got to make one more change.
Okay, cool.
Because Villa's that guy. He probably has another 3 changes in his head.
Shout out to
Four.
Villa.
4. He's like, wait till you're done. Wait till you're done.
Villa originally one of the original Zoo Babies, and now he's gone independent, making his own music. I'm still trying to get the Zoo Babies together.
Oh,
by
I
the
put
way.
them. No,
There's
no, no.
two?
Hold on. I put them in a group.
Uh-huh.
I've talked in that group, and that group is silent. Minus Noise was the last one who messaged. I
Add
think he
me
said
in.
Happy New Year.
Add me in there.
That's it.
Oh,
So,
Add me and Karen in there. I think we'll get it popping.
It'll get a
ain't
little-
calling anyone out, but
no, I'll make it happen. I'm just going to get each one of those 5 guys independently alone in the studio with a beat, and that's
don't
it.
even tell them. Yeah,
I
be
know.
Like, yeah, I
But
got
yo,
that.
I'm making a
right?
song with just you. How many bars do you need? Just 16. I'm good. 8.
I want to speak about another good friend of yours that we just spoke about all her clothes, but let's speak about her personally. Money Corjessel, right?
Yeah.
So what's your relationship with her? How did it start, and where does that all stem from?
Actually, I met her through Villa randomly.
way.
Yeah,
Okay.
Ox, but yeah, it was, I won't go into the story too much.
Okay.
But yeah, we met through a photo shoot. So it was literally like 2013, and she just graduated from Ryerson, and it was one of her first collections. From there, we just like hit it off. Literally, like became her brand ambassador a couple years later, and just we've been creating a lot of dope stuff since. And she's such a hard worker. We actually made a documentary
No
on her.
way.
Yeah, so that's coming out hopefully next month.
Uh-huh.
And
That's
we
awesome.
worked on it last year. We basically took from her sketches to runway and like that documented that whole process. So it's really exciting to see like her just doing so well and us being able to share that story. So yeah, that's coming out soon.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's a
How-
fashion documentary.
How was that feeling of like seeing her go from, I guess it's kind of like a started in the basement story where you guys were, where
Literally
she was
in the
making
basement.
clothes, you're
Yeah.
modeling them, and then you guys get this opportunity to go to Yorkville and open this amazing
Yeah.
store that's out there.
Yeah.
I don't
That's
know
a
the
beautiful
address.
looking store, too, man.
Yeah.
Oh, she's just a creative genius. Like she's behind every single aspect of it too. Like, from how the packaging looks, how the clothes fit, how the measurements will be, how like the design is, going and shopping to India, getting inspiration, coming back, like each fabric, like every little process
super
to like the graphics, to the photo shoots. Like there's so much that goes to it, into it. And I see how hard she works and she doesn't stop. And every time she's like, I'm gonna give up, I'm just screw this one. And we're always like, her and I get together, we complain a lot about the industries we got into. We're like, we should just became DJs, man. Like, yo, honestly,
I think
man.
everybody says that in the
Yeah,
industry. Like, these
like-
guys got it good.
Yeah,
eh?
We
yeah.
should have
Good.
became DJs, right, Tati?
Right? Yeah.
The frequency needed female DJ.
Yeah,
But
We need an MC though.
Yeah,
We
I don't
need
know
a-
about
we need a female.
emceeing weddings.
It's pretty fun.
Is it fun? Do you want me to
Yo,
co-MC
let's
with
go.
you?
Let's
Is
do
that what you
it.
want?
Let's do it. Yo, hiring
He's
right
like
now.
looking at me. He's like, it's fun.
Let's do it.
We'll set up an interview process, don't worry.
Kamal's already thinking. Kamal, the
Wait,
businessman
excuse me,
over there.
Interview process. I I should be higher.
Yo, Karen, the businessman over there is already making notes. Message
No, don't worry.
Karen.
He's like,
MC.
Karen, I gotta know. I keep saying it like Shah Rukh Khan. Karen. Yeah, I want to know about this story I heard. It was about some ruckus that you started at my home branch, McDonald's Mountain Ash, and it had to do with some hot fudge in somebody's hair. Can you explain the story? Because I go there and I eat a lot, so I need to make sure that I don't get banned from this McDonald's,
Oh no!
by association.
I don't want to tell the story. I only told it on one podcast. And that's Immigrant Hustle.
But now it's going to be on 2.
Shout out the Immigrant Hustle podcast, Be Magic and Noise.
Yeah.
We're gonna have them on soon as well.
It's a dope podcast. God, okay. Back in my days, yeah, I can't name people because I don't want them to get in trouble. But there are certain individuals involved in this situation. Literally, we came back from a corn pot and then we went to McDonald's to get ice cream.
It was a peaceful day.
It was a peaceful day. We were in our chapla and our suits, and literally
Brampton.
there's in Brampton, and there's two white girls that were not like down with us being there because there's a group of us, and they were talking, They're like, what the hell are they wearing? What are they doing? And then we're like, what the fuck? What do you want? And it just turned into a little bit of a, scrap.
What? They didn't compliment the suit. Normally, Godia will be like,
this
oh,
is
I love the
2006.
colors.
This is 2006, so I don't think people were.
They weren't into it.
Yeah, they weren't into it then.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So
At least you weren't wearing chapla in the winter, which is like a new phenomenon that we're seeing out here now, right?
yeah, it turned into a little bit of a.
So you
thing.
had to hold it down in the suit.
Yeah, you know what? I just can't. Like,
You rep.
I'm not trying to go in with a fight. Like, I'm not like, hey, let's go fight now, But then as
I don't
soon
know
as,
that
like,
rye blood. I don't believe you at all. I don't believe you at all.
But it's honestly always my friends get involved, and then I feel obligated to be all of a sudden the savior in the situation.
Let me just
and,
throw the
like,
first punch and then see what happens. Right?
Yeah, that's
The
literally
Sunny
what it
Deal.
is.
The Sunny Deal. blood right
Just
there.
like all this time, and
All
I
right,
threw
tell us.
hot fudge in the girl's hair.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That she must have been not happy about
No,
that.
not
for
at
this guy.
all,
What?
yeah.
Tell us what happens when hot fudge goes in a girl's head.
Honestly, it was all
What is
in
the
slow
process to
motion.
get that out?
Don't try this
Honestly,
at
it's
home.
slow motion, like the whole thing, and still my head is still in slow motion. Like I literally see the girl. Like I remember she was just grabbing my friend's hand, and I was just eating my fudge on the side. And then all of a sudden, I was like, "Yo, what the fuck is she doing?" And I just went up to her, and I just slowly like went right into her hair, like just to the side. And I could tell she just got it done too. And I was like, "Oh my god!" And she looked at me. She's like.
You're lucky this was 2006. If it was 2016, it would have been all over the internet.
I know it would have been definitely. I'm so glad
You
the
would've been
internet
so-
was not the
Yeah.
way it was
No.
back then, because I would have been in a lot of trouble for sure.
I'm sure Pee Wee would have been like, I taught you the left hook. You should have used that and saved the hot fudge.
I know, right? It was really bad. Yeah, and then turned into a whole brawl.
But they initiated it.
yeah, they initiated it. Yeah, so they knew what was coming, right?
I ain't parenting, but
That's super dope. Karen,
Yeah.
we're KayRay, Karen, we're super happy to have you on this episode. It was
Thank
a
you.
lot of fun. We've talked about so many different things.
Yeah.
All the doors that you've opened for yourself and for every young lady who wants to become an actress, actor, whatever you want to call it, get into media and just be free and just kind of live your art, live your dream. Take that year off after high school, like she said. Figure out what you want to do, and then you really just got to see it. It's kind of like Villa's shirt, man. He's got a world tour shirt on now, and I guarantee that he'll be on a world tour within the next couple years if that happens. So
Yeah.
you got to really see that dream to believe it, and I think
Also,
that's what you did.
Speaking of world tour, Java
Oh
Cup.
yeah, Chadha Cup tour,
Chadha Cup
guys.
tour, yeah,
we're
that's
trying
coming
to do
up as
our
well.
own world
Yeah.
tour,
Yeah.
What
Since
else?
I don't have the gifts of being a rapper and singer, I try to do my own world tours in my own ways.
So we know
Officially.
that we can expect the tour coming up soon. What else can we expect from you guys?
So the documentary with Money Jessel, that's coming out in hopefully the next month. More Chadha Cup episodes, of course, and more skits and a new web series.
Sweet.
Nice. So
A
you're
new
doing,
web
you're
series.
still still do your skits? Is that weekly, monthly?
We're trying to do more skits now, so we don't want to say what schedule yet,
Okay,
but it's definitely something that's more consistent, definitely. Yeah.
And I've heard you speak about mental health and just kind of figuring out your own schedule, kind of giving yourself more time. Is that something you're going to practice, or you're just...
No, I need to practice that because I was doing too many things at the same time before, and I think I need to be more focused. So, I definitely have a great team that's like down to do whatever, and I think we're trying to be more diligent with our schedule. Yeah.
No, that's awesome. We're looking forward to it. We're all fans. It's the reason you're here today. All of our fans have been asking for you as well. So we're really happy that you could have made it out and had this great discussion.
I know this is a long time coming. We've been talking about this for a while, honestly. Yeah.
No, absolutely. Yeah. So we're going to get into our game now. We're going to see if you have a shot at taking home that belt.
Yeah,
and we'll take a quick break. And we'll not really take it. Nobody actually gets to take it home.
Here,
you can take a picture with it.
You can hold it. Yeah.
We'll take a quick break. We're set up, and we'll be right back.
All right.
All right, and we are back for our final segment of the show, Punjabi Shazam.
Hold on, let's do that again.
We got some loud people. We've been turned up for the episode. It's all good. Season 4. We're having fun. Let's make some noise. We got through a great episode here. Everybody, awesome everybody. Episode. Thank you so much. We got DJ Prodigy over here. He's got KSR's laptop, but nobody has seen the tracks. So we're going to play Punjabi Shazam in a minute. But I just want to thank each and every one of you who's come out today. I got to congratulate Jyoti. He just dropped a huge track, Jin, produced by DJ M. Yep. Right? Yes. And you guys had a fantastic video. Great project that got put out.
Thank you guys. Thank you.
Jyoti, can we hear a couple lines from the song real quick?
Yes. I'm down.
Let's do it.
Written by Tej Gill.
Uh-huh.
So check it out. जिंद तेरे नाम करती रखें सांभ के तू यारा वे असी जिंद तेरे नाम करती रखें सांभ के तू यारा वे
Gave me the feels right there, Jyoti. Holy moly, that was fantastic, man. It's a huge track. It's blowing up all over TikTok, all over YouTube. So if you haven't heard it, go check the track out. Give it some love.
Thank you.
Now we get to. Well, are we gonna do sad songs now? Cause I'm in my sad song bag. All right, Prodigy. So KayRay, this is the game. It's Punjabi Shazam. We play a quick snippet of a track. You have to guess the name of the track. If you tie with somebody, you gotta say the artist as well. Okay, cool.
So your best bet is to say the name and the artist at the same time.
Yeah, if you know both, just say them right away, and you'll get that. And it's best of 5. You get a picture with that beautiful belt there.
And DJ M's not here, so you're in luck.
Yeah,
okay, all right.
Because he's
so all of us
undefeated.
stand a chance today.
Yeah, seriously.
All right, Prodigy, you ready? Track number 1. Let's go.
Satya Saraya. Member Hassanpuri. Dr. Seuss.
At the same time.
Camp Frantic. I don't give a shit.
We never said producer, but we said it at the same time. I would guarantee that we said it at the exact same time.
Eardrum on that one.
Yeah, same. But
We said Satya Saraya and Member Hassanpuri.
I felt like
he
was saying it. You just sped up when he said it.
I actually knew it too, but I'm like, no words came out. I'm like,
it's hard. Who are we giving that to?
From my angle, it was JJ. I heard it from him.
JJ, okay, JJ will
you
take that one.
You just try to say it faster.
No. All right, cool.
Okay.
Dola, we good? All right.
Replay.
All right, Prodigy, track number 2. JJ's got 1. Let's go.
50 Cent in the club. Wankster.
You say you were gangsta.
Oh, it's Wankster.
I said Wankster. 50 Cent.
Oh, yeah, you got Wankster. Yeah, I said it in the club. I don't know why.
My brain's really slow right now.
Because he said it. I heard it. I was like, in the club. No. Wankster.
Yeah.
God damn it.
So slow.
I know, right?
I'm with DJs. This is not fucking fair.
Hold on. Let's all have a sip of our drink. He's not drinking. That's why he's guessing them all, eh? God
There's
damn
nothing in
it.
there.
I'm not drinking
He's
either.
drinking McDonald's, man.
What's your excuse? All right, JJ's got 2. He gets 1 more, and he's taking that belt home. Prodigy, let's go. Track number 3.
Just shut up.
Just shut.
Oh, boy, Cameron.
Oh,
Cameron.
boy, Cameron. Yeah. She said it.
She said boy, Cameron.
And then she said
boy, Cameron, but it's okay.
All right. KayRay
got a
got 1.
point.
KayRay's in the game. So we got 2 for JJ, 1 for KayRay. Track number 4, let's go.
Giovanni B21.
Wow.
I did not know that.
Damn.
Definitely, I did not know. That's crazy.
All right. Can we give a shout out to DJ KSR? This is most spoken episode today. Yo, make some noise for KSR.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I want to
All
say
right.
one more word.
Hold on.
People
How many
speaking.
songs do you have left?
That
He
was
spoke 3
2,
times,
3,
yeah.
4. She
2
should
more.
have 3 more at least, right?
2 more? 3 more.
Okay, so should we, to make this happen, in
One
case
more.
you guys we'll do one more?
Yeah, 1 more. And
Okay, then
the-
we'll take out the 2 people with the least amount.
Okay, yeah. All right, so
You guys
track.
gotta get in.
If you get it, you win.
No.
No.
Go. Just
If
go.
I get it, yeah,
Just
I
go.
win.
Just go.
All right, track number 5. Let's go.
Oh, I know it.
Oh,
it.
Wu-Tang Triumph. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Ooh.
Okay. So now, no, it's not done. It's not done. So me and Thadi are out.
It is done.
No,
I got
me and
3.
Thadi are
You got
out.
3.
Oh, you
You
have
got
3. I
3,
thought you
yeah.
had 2. Never mind.
Aw,
Damn. Jay Static.
Ustadji.
Was that you about to say the saga continues?
No, the whole the inspector deck was in my head. The whole
He was still
fucking-
processing it.
Yeah.
I know this. All right.
All right, now you got to freestyle the beginning of the line.
I know this whole fucking.
Let's
Go
go.
do it. Drop it.
All right.
Jay Static. Hey.
KayRay, thank you so much again for coming out. I hope you had fun. We had a lot of fun.
You guys
You
were
held it
great.
down in a group full of guys.
Yes,
You
my
were
brothers.
a proper lady. You were fantastic to speak to, inspirational, and we're really happy that you came on the show. Thank you so much. We're trying to get more women on the show because there's way too many guys on this
It's a
all
lot
the
of
time.
dudes.
Yeah. We had
I'm
Memphis
literally the
Tour on
only
last
woman.
year. We got you on, so we're definitely trying to look for Money Justo, your Pua,
Yeah.
Jasmine Sandless.
Yes.
You know, so, but soon we'll get more and more, and we want to keep pushing forward. So thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your story.
Thank
Keep
you
doing
guys.
what you're doing.
We know it'll be an inspiration to all.
Keep doing
Thank
you.
you guys.
Season 4, episode 2, we're out.
All right,
Let's go.
Peace.
Hey everyone, it's your girl KayRay, and when you just watch Frequency and Friends, make sure you watch, comment, like, subscribe, all the things that internet does. Alright, okay, alright.